Hey guys, welcome back to All Adventures Great and Small. I did an update to my tiny survival kit in the Altoids tin, or at least an Altoids style tin, and just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about what is in it and how I've changed it. So if you watched my other videos on these, you know my interest in this stems from my past when I was a flight paramedic and worked in some very rural areas on a helicopter. And it was sort of, anything you had on yourself was probably all you were gonna have if there's an incident. And so I developed a little first aid kit that I carried and a little survival kit that I carried. And anyway, so this is kind of a future iterations or later iterations of that. So it starts with this tin, and I'll put all the links or respond if you guys have questions for what I have, but it all starts with this tin, and then once we go inside, here we are. So first thing is a titanium whistle. Okay. Next is several water purification tablets. Now, I don't have a place to put water in this. There's no water bag or anything like that. That's something I've considered. So that would be one gap, but it's sort of, I'm making the assumption that I am out and about with a empty water bottle at this point if I'm using my survival kit. All right, next up is some duct tape, and this is just flat folded, as you can see. Okay, and then a signal mirror. And this one is the star flash signal mirror. Now it's very tiny, and that's why I like it. So there's that. And then next up is a little flashlight, which this is kind of like a luxury item. It's not super, super bright. It lasts fairly long. You don't really need a flashlight, but it is a nicety. And so again, I typically have a larger flashlight that I carry, but there's a little one in here as well. Next up is several matches. And so these guys are, pop them out, there we go, in their own little Ziploc bag. And these are just from REI. Took them out of the original packaging and then put them in this Ziploc that it fits perfectly. And so you can see it's not a ton in here, but again, this is not meant to be exhaustive. This is meant to be, one night in the woods kind of thing. Next up is this bag that has a bunch of things in it. I'll go through that in a moment. Also in here is this knife. Now, I'm a big fan. This is the Doug Ritter CRKT knife. Now, you can buy different iterations of this that are cheap on eBay that are sort of like the knockoff version that I'm sure are perfectly fine. This is the original. When you buy this one, it comes with its own tin typically. I don't think they're made anymore, so you got to buy them on eBay. But you never know, maybe they are still made, I just haven't seen them. But it comes with this little sheath. Now this is a super tiny knife, and there's probably better videos on it. I'm just showing it. Obviously this does not fit my hand, but with the band, then that's with that piece of paracord, that gives you the ability to kind of grip the whole knife. So that's the idea there. Again, this is not the knife I want to be stuck in the woods with, but it's better than nothing, so there you go. And then also inside of here is some tin foil, which this is meant for cooking. So if you have a little fish, you can open the sucker up, put this over top, and use that, and you can reuse these. I guess also technically you could probably hold water in this. It's a fairly big piece, I just flat folded. So there's that as well. All right, now inside of this little Ziploc bag is several little things. Okay. First off, and a lot of these things I've sourced from various places, and so happy to help you guys understand where I got all this from as well. So first off, here is a little fire starter, and there's a lot of different iterations of these types of fire starters. I like this one because it's made of metal. SOL makes one that's made of plastic, and that's great, it works, but I've had them break after several goes. Now, if I'm actually in a survival situation and I actually need a fire, I don't want just one source of fire. And honestly, I don't really want this thing. These work really well, but you gotta have the right tinder. So having some matches as a secondary source is really wise. So that's why I carry two. Now this one does have 3 extra little like flints here. That's what these little guys are as well. And I just left them. I put them in that Ziploc, so I had them. So that's that. This is 2 fish hooks and some fishing line. This was just, I thought it was a cool idea. So there you go, I have it. I don't think I'm going to be using it, but you know, you never know. There you go. And then these are just two of the little cotton kind of condensed solid little cotton balls that you can tear apart to use as tinder. So all of this lives inside of that Ziploc bag to keep it dry, because obviously this is not waterproof. But you know, again, is this the survival kit that you're going to want to go, you know, depend on if you're on like a multi-day trek in the wilderness? No, this is not intended for that. This is intended for you know, when you have nothing else on you. It's a great little way to have some good little things to make a night in the woods a bit easier. Also, this is a very tiny compass. Okay. Now, tiny compasses are always kind of a mixed bag. I feel like about 50-50 as to whether or not they actually work. This particular brand, it works, and I've been very impressed with it. So thus far, no issues. I've tested it several times. Again, it's not the compass I want to bet my life on, but if I had nothing else on me, it can at least get me kind of moving in the right direction, so I'm not getting further lost, hopefully. So anyways, there you go. You know, just as far as like the concept here, the idea really is that you have your communication, right? So you have some sources of communication. The flashlight could be that as well, potentially. Sources to start a fire, some mechanisms to cook, some navigation, a knife, and then a way to purify some water. You know, that's kind of it. It's meant to be pretty simple and straightforward. If you guys have comments, questions, ideas, if I missed anything, this is what I've carried, you know, for a number of years in the professional context. But if you guys have other ideas for things I'm missing, or if you want more information about any of these specific products, be happy to share where I got them. And yeah, love your comments. So if this was helpful to you, please check out my other videos. And thanks so much for watching.